Yo, what's going on, guys? Mush back at it with another video, here to once again highlight some Steam game deals. We've got historic lows on one of the biggest games of 2025. Is that a little bit of a stretch? I don't know. This game has just blown up and it has done very, very well. At the very least, it's one of the more notable games of this year. So we'll talk that, some other historic lows to go over, and some great deals across the board. Got quite a lot of deals to go over, so let's get right into it. Links, as always, in the description box below, but I'm kicking things off with Megabonk. It is seeing its first notable discount, 20% off for $7.99. So yeah, this game has took the gaming world by storm a little bit when it has come out. We've seen a lot of that this year when these games have just like kind of come out, and there were there's some attention around these games, but then as they come out, content creators talk about them, and they're on social media. People are talking about it on social media. The snowball effect just rolls and rolls and rolls, and the games just get so much bigger. I felt that happen with Dispatch as well. But, you know, you guys know me, I like the games that I like, so a lot of those games I don't check out, and I don't spend a lot of time with. Balatro was another one. You know, that game blew up, and, you know, it's just, I like the games I like, you know, what can I do? But Megabonk is a game that a lot of people really enjoy. Smash your way through endless waves of enemies and grow absurdly powerful, grab loot, level up, unlock characters, and upgrade to create unique and crazy builds as you fend off hordes of creatures. Overwhelmingly positive reception, 44,000 reviews, 95% positive, and yeah, that is available now. The game has sold a ton of copies, and seeing its first discount, 20% off for $7.99, so check that out. And how about that, an interesting stat on the game, Megabonk peaked at 117,000 concurrent players on October the 5th, that's 17 days after the game's release. That's always an interesting stat to look at, and I believe Arc Raiders had something similar, where the game comes out, and Megabonk, it's even more interesting because it's not a live service game, but it peaks like 2 weeks after release. That means the momentum just kept climbing and climbing on social media, because generally speaking, when a game has a lot of buzz, it peaks in the first weekend of release, and then it falls off and falls off and falls off. If a game is peaking 2 weeks after release, that kind of says how much momentum and discussion the game has around it, and that's kind of what happened with Megabonk. But yeah, $7.99 on that. Next up, we have Animal Well, 30% off for $17.49, another game with an overwhelmingly positive reception, 12,000 reviews, 95% positive. This is the deepest discount thus far for Animal Well, a game that's held up in price. Explore a dense, interconnected labyrinth and unravel its many secrets. Collect items to manipulate the environment in surprising and meaningful ways, and encounter a beautiful and unsettling creatures as you attempt to survive what lurks in the dark. There is more than what you see. A Metroidvania title here with dense, atmospheric puzzle box world with tons of secrets, light candles for safety, and gradually fill out your map. Enemies, environments, and items interact in surprising and systemic ways, and all items have multiple uses. The game's got a 90 on Metacritic as well, and it's down to $17.49. Next up, we have the horror title In Still Wakes the Deep. 1975 disaster strikes the Barrier D oil rig off the coast of Scotland. Navigate the collapsing rig to save your crew from an otherworldly horror on the edge of all logic and reality, and a 3x BAFTA Games Award-winning narrative horror experience. $8.74 on this. We recently did have the release of the DLC Siren's Rest. You can buy the complete collection for $15.71. If you're into narrative-driven horror games, one to check out here in Still Wakes the Deep. 5,200 reviews, 89% positive there, so check that out. Slay the Spire, 75% off for $6.24. I love Slay the Spire. I bought this game at the tail end of its early access period back in 2019. It was on sale, saw the Steam reception, got it discounted, and I was like, alright, let's check it out. I was into card games growing up, but this one, a little bit interesting on the surface, you know, me going into it back in 2019, where it's a roguelike deck builder, and I was like, how's this really gonna work? And let me tell you, it works phenomenally, and now you've seen a lot of other games come into the fray with this style of game design, and I just thought Slay the Spire works so well in the sense of having a lot of strategy in how you build your deck. It's not just about hoarding cards. You have to keep your deck reasonable in terms of what cards you have and how you can implement it into each run. I just thought it was a very, very creatively designed game, and I really enjoyed it. I have friends that have sunk so many hours into this game, and I sunk quite a lot of hours as well. It's a very addicting game, very replayable, and for a $6.24, great pickup there. And Slay the Spire 2 is in development, so we'll check that out hopefully in 20 2026. Next up, we have Ninja Gaiden Ragebound, 20% off for $19.99. Small discount on Ninja Gaiden Ragebound, but man, Ninja Gaiden has had a stellar year in 2025 with Ninja Gaiden 2 Black, Ninja Gaiden 4, and then yes, Ninja Gaiden Ragebound also came out. A brand new side-scrolling entry to the Ninja Gaiden series from the team behind Blasphemous. Ninja Gaiden Ragebound redefines the classic platformer saga in spectacular, thrilling, and challenging ninja adventure. Very positive reception on this one. 955 reviews, 94% positive. Recent reviews do have it at overwhelmingly positive and 84 on Metacritic as well. If you're looking for a stylish, challenging action platformer, you'll find that with Ninja Gaiden Ragebound. And they did drop a Yakumo skin, so that's pretty cool. Yakumo is the main character of Ninja Gaiden 4. Next up, we've got the co-op action shooter in World War Z, a heart-pounding co-op third-person shooter for up to 4 players featuring massive swarms of hundreds of zombies focused on fast-paced, gruesomely spectacular action as well. They've done a great job of consistently updating the game, rounding out new content, adding new content, and a lot to sink your teeth into with World War Z. Ideally, you do want to play the game with a couple of friends, and by the way, they do have World War Z Aftermath for $14.79, and there is World War Z VR as well. They've got that discounted as well, but yeah, that doesn't have a great reception, but World War Z and Aftermath, that's worthwhile to check out. $9.89 for the base game, $14.79 for Aftermath, so pretty good deal there. Next up, Cyberpunk 2077 base game is $21, Ultimate Edition is $38.62. I've talked about this game ad nauseum. I loved Cyberpunk 2077. I even liked it when the game initially came out. Was it at the level of what people wanted out of the game? Absolutely not, and I don't even know if it's at the level now, because I think people wanted the second coming of gaming, and that just was never going to happen. I had talked about, prior to the release of Cyberpunk 2077, that I really saw the writing on the wall of people being disappointed by the game. On one, the game got a ton of delays, and two, the expectations were just way too high. You can't expect, like, no video game is gonna, like, repair your personal life. Like, that's just not gonna happen, and I almost felt that was the expectation with Cyberpunk. However, CDPR did not do any favors on how they promoted the game, and a lot of their promises of the game not being unrealized. However, what you get in the game now, I think, is really good. I think it's a worthwhile story, an incredibly compelling story that's incredibly replayable as well. Visuals are gorgeous, Phantom Liberty is awesome, and the Ultimate Edition, like I said, $38.62. It's pricey, but it's a lot of content for your dollar, and it's one of those games that I think you know, you can go back to over and over again. I just had a buddy start their second playthrough of this game, and I'm gonna start another playthrough of Cyberpunk 2077 at some point, and I think the ceiling on this world is so high in terms of what they do with Cyberpunk 2. Probably won't be out until, like, 2078, but nonetheless, there's a lot of potential in where they could take this world, and I think that's incredibly exciting. But yeah, definitely, it's Cyberpunk, it's great, check that out. Next up, we have Dredge, 60% off for $9.99, a single-player fishing adventure with a sinister undercurrent. Sell your catch, upgrade your boat, and dredge the depths for long-buried secrets. Explore a mysterious archipelago and discover why some things are best left forgotten. Overwhelmingly positive reception, 28,000 reviews, 96% positive there. Definitely a game that's seen a really strong reception. Reviews have been really good, and $9.99 for it if you want to check that out. Good discount on that. Next up, right up my alley, of course, I gotta give RGG some love with the Like a Dragon 20th anniversary sale. Yakuza Like a Dragon is 60% off for $7.99. If you want a turn-based RPG to get into the RGG games, I think this is a great one. You can start with this one without playing the other Yakuza games. Would it benefit you? Yes, a little bit, but it's not that consequential if you don't play all the other Yakuza games and jump right into Like a Dragon. This game is just great. It has my favorite RGG main character in Ichiban. Yes, I personally resonate with Ichiban more than Kiryu. I just think Ichiban, everybody loves the lovable goof, and that's what Ichiban is, and his story is great, and narratively, Yakuza Like a Dragon is up there with the best narratives RGG has put out. The game is just great. $7.99, great pickup there. Then Judgment is 70% off for $11.99. This is also top level as far as RGG stories go, and if you want the beat-em-up action game style that RGG brings out, this is a great option as well. Visually looks great, the English voice acting is awesome, and the main character Yagami, he's great as well. I don't think Yagami is as great as Kiryu or Ichiban, but man, that's pretty tough competition. Yagami is a super likable character as well, and $11.99 on that. great pickup there. Shadow Tactics Blades of the Shogun, 90% off for $3.99. Great tactics game in Edo, Japan. Just a worthwhile game to go through if you like the setting. I think it'll definitely draw you in. I'm not a big tactics guy, but even I enjoyed this game, and there's an easy difficulty as well, and I certainly am not going to be the one to judge you on that. And then lastly, Castlevania Dominus Collection is 30% off for $17.49. Great deal on Castlevania Dominus Collection. 3 absolutely phenomenal games with Castlevania Dawn of Sorrow, Portrait of Ruin, and Order of Ecclesia. They are Nintendo DS games, so originally I should say, so you have the janky dual screen layout, which isn't ideal, but the games themselves are so good that I would highly recommend it. Overwhelmingly positive reception on this, by the way. 1290 reviews and 95% positive. Just great. So $17.49 on that. But that is going to do it for me. Again, a lot of great deals available on Steam right now. The Megabonk deal, a historic low and one of the most popular games of 2025. Check that out, and a ton of other deals as well. Links to everything in the description box below. That's going to do it for me. Let me know all of your thoughts in the comment section down below, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace out. Hey, what's going on, guys? Mush here again. Hope you enjoyed the video. As you guys might know, YouTube's notification system is sometimes a little bit wonky, even if you're subscribed to the channel. Maybe you're not abundantly aware that I uploaded a video. To remedy that situation, make sure you hit the bell notification button. This way, whenever I upload a new video, and I try to upload as consistently as possible, you will be notified directly of the upload, and you can watch it as soon as it goes live. I would really appreciate if you guys hit that button so you can stay up to date with all of the content I'm posting. But as always, guys, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace out.